So in the previous video, I have explained how to create the new project. So in this, we'll see some of the basic options and how to navigate around the level here. So first of all, in order to create a new level, we have to go to File and we have to click on this new level. So basically, suppose if you want to create the level from scratch without any even single light or any other assets, we have to click on this empty levels like empty open world or empty level. Suppose if you want to create a level with the basic lighting, then we have to click on this basic here. Or if you want to create any open world type of games, then we have to click on this open world. So for time being, I will click on this basic and click on create here. Whenever we click on create here, it will create the basic level. So this is a directional light and this is a skylight and this is like atmosphere. So I will explain detailedly in the further classes what are these according to the example. So first of all, I will explain about the interface here. So here you can see there is a like content browser. So what are the uses of this content browser is like whatever the objects or any 3D models you are going to import or any other levels which you are going to create, everything will be created in the content browser. Even though if you have downloaded any assets from the market store, all the assets will be loaded into the content browser here. Here right side you can see this is an outliner. So what is outliner is, so whatever the objects you place in the scene, it will be shown in the outliner. So even though if we can select the object from the outliner too. So here in the right side we can see there is an option like details panel. So what are this thing is, suppose if you select any object and if you want to make any changes, like suppose if you want to change the positions, rotations, we can use these details panels. So not only for changing the position, scaling or something, there are a lot of things to be explained, so we can apply the materials too. So this I will explain according to the example. So each and every object will have a different settings. So according to our requirement, we have to change the settings here. So this is a viewport which you are going to see with a default sky. As we have created the basic level, so it will create the level with the default sky and default light here. And next, suppose if you want to open any panels or if you close any panels, and again if you want to open them, suppose for example if I close this detail panel, so suppose if you want to open the detail panels again, then we have to go to the windows and you can see there are some list of the panels here. So if you now at present we have closed the detail panel, and again if you want to open, then we have to click on these details here. Here you can see there are 4 detail options. Like if you open again, so it will open in a separate window. Suppose in case if you are using any multiple monitors, so it will be easy for you to open these detail panels in the other monitor, so you can work the level with a full screen. Like if you want to go to the full screen, we have to press F11, and again if you want to go back, again we have to press F11. So what are the uses of like multiple panels is, like whenever you are using the multiple monitors, we can drag all the panels into the other monitor and we can work in the level with a full screen, so that we'll get more space to work. Even though if you close the outliner, then again if you want to open outliner, we have to go to the windows and we can click on this outliner here. So whatever the panels you want to open, we have to go to windows and we have to select the panels according to your requirement. So there are some other settings in the edit. So if you go to the edit, we can see there is an edit preference and project settings. So these settings I will explain according to the example in the future videos. So if you go to the project settings, so you can see like the present project settings here. So suppose if you want to make any descriptions of the project, you can create some sort of descriptions, and there are much more settings here. So according to the example, I will explain. And there are some settings in the editor preference also. If you go to the edit and if you go to editor preference, and there are some settings here. For example, see, suppose whenever I select the object, around you can see there is an yellow line. In case if you want to change the color, here in the settings you can change the color also. Suppose if you click on this and if you select any other color, so see here it has been changed the color of the outline. So for time being, I will put into like default settings, and later on I will explain some of the other options. So here there is an option like build. So suppose if you create any lightings and if you want to build the lights, so here we can come to this build option here. And here in the left side, you can see there is an option like save. Suppose if you want to save this level, you can click on this and we have to save this level. So next on to this, we have some options to select the mode. So for example, suppose if you click on this landscape, it will create the landscape. Like suppose if you want to create huge size of like terrain, so we can click on this landscape. Suppose let's say suppose if you want to place any trees or something, we can go to the foliage. And there are some other options like animation, so which we can see in the upcoming videos. So for time being, I will go to the select mode. So here is the next like play button. So whenever you create some level and if you want to test it, so we can click on this play button so that we can play around the level. And these are the platforms. So while you're exporting the games here, we can select the platforms like Android, iOS, for example. And here in the corner, you can see there is a settings option. So if you go to the settings, you can see the project settings as we have seen in the like edit project settings. So these are same. So even though we can see there is a plugin option which is same as here. And here you can see there is an option like hide viewport UI. Suppose in case if you want to hide this all these UI buttons, so you can click on this hide. Or again if you want to enable, so we can enable this.